What's up guys, Triple C here. So Cunning Stunts was released and we got all the stunt ready vehicles that were announced. And so I'm going to continue my testing series and I'm going to be testing all the new cars on different types of stunts. Now the first one we're going to test is the ANIS 7B, I actually forgot the name, doesn't matter. What I'll be doing in these tests, I'm not going to be testing them on the new Rockstar stunt races, because there's nothing I can really test or compare there because it's pretty generic stuff. Like I said before, I can't wait till the creators get access to these props, but like any car will drive through a tube or drive on these roads or drive down these very large loops which you can't fall off basically. Also there's different physics in there which basically make it kind of impossible to even fail a stunt. So there's nothing I can compare there or really test it on. And that's why I'm testing it on all the stunts that I was also testing the other vehicles on. We'll test it on horizontal wall rides, on ascending wall rides, on barge spirals, on Freaky League's huge loop racing. We'll test it on King JMK loops, and the kidney grinder, for example, will it crab slide? I mean, that's basically become a generic stunt, it's incorporated in so many stunt races nowadays. So yeah, with these cars being advertised as stunt ready vehicles, I'm pretty excited to see how it does, although it does have rear wheel drive, which is not a good thing for traction inspired, especially at low speeds. So let's see how it does. One more thing, disclaimer, I don't care what the outcome is, because I had the thing with the X80 Proto. It failed miserably on the stunt test. It's a bad vehicle for stunt racing. I got a lot of hate for that, and people had high expectations. It evidently didn't live up to those expectations, and I just reported my findings basically. And I don't have any stake in this. I really don't care if it does good or bad. I'll just give you my neutral view on it, basically compare it to other vehicles, how they do on stunts, and give you my findings. So in case this doesn't perform as you would have hoped it, don't take it personal, because it's basically just a factual test. So yeah, let's jump right into it. Okay, first up, horizontal wall rides. Now, the question is not will it get through the wall ride, because any car can do a wall ride. You can do this one in compacts and muscle cars. Any car will make it. It's just about how does it behave on the wall, how will it go against the dummy proofing. Is it responsive? Is it not responsive? Does it keep the traction? Do you lose your camera view? That's the kind of stuff we're going to be looking at here, and compare it to the other ones. Now I'm using exactly the same settings. Oh, very responsive. Okay, but yeah, that's the thing that I like if cars are ultra responsive on a wall ride. Other people like that, for example, so that's just a question of taste. I did have the feeling that it was kind of rough on the dummy proofing though. Let's check that out. And okay, and I mean, of course you have to get used to every car, so it's not about will I make it first try or not. If it behaves differently than cars I'm used to, obviously I'll have a hard time in the beginning until I get used to this car. But there again, it went up the now the camera's zooming in. No. I didn't like how, now again the camera, how it's zooming in. Okay, so yeah, it did get around the wall ride as expected. I had the feeling that it was pushed off by the dummy proof. It went up the dummy proofing a bit, which is not a good thing. On the wall, it's stuck, definitely. As any supercar except the Banshee probably would, but the camera zoomed in very close to its back, which was not a good thing, and I have a suspicion that we'll have major issues on ascending wall rides, that you're going to lose your view. It might also be the same thing in spirals, we'll see. So yeah, that was the first take on a horizontal wall ride. Let's jump in the next stunt. Next up, ascending wall rides. So we're going to see how this one does on an ascending wall ride. Now this will be pretty tricky for me because I don't like the super sensitive steering cars and wall rides, but let's see, let's go. It loses power. X80 style, we lost our view. And it lost power going up there. It's a rear wheel drive car, which is not, I mean, a stunt vehicle should have four wheel drive. It just lost that power going up there. It just, I mean, this is an incredibly quick car on the track, you know, no doubt. It's just super fast, but it just lost the power going up on that wall. Wait, we can basically stop this test right. Completely lost power going up there. It didn't maintain that speed, that traction, that power it needs. And we completely lost our view. We were totally blind. We didn't know at all where we were going. Yeah, here we go again. We are driving blind. Okay. Epic fail. No, definitely not advised for ascending wall rides. Not at all. Like the cars that are beautiful on this Osiris, T20, Zentorno. They just maintain their speed. They just roar up there without losing the camera view, without losing any power getting up there. But this one just slowed down on the way up, as only as rear wheel drive. That's probably the issue, and we completely lost our view. So fail on ascending wall rides. Next up, generic barge spirals to barge wall ride thing with the big backside of the barges. Easy to do stuff. Let's see how it performs. Yep, X80 style, we lost our view. We don't see where we're going at all. This does not happen in the Osiris T20. All the usual suspects for stunt races, the cars that we consider as stunt ready, the stunt race creator community, the stunts we've been building. Yeah, so I'm totally guessing where I'm going here. Yeah, okay, epic fail. Epic fail, just like the X80 Proto. Super quick car on the track, but not advised for stunning. This is definitely not stunt ready in the sense that it can't do a generic spiral, basically, without you losing your view. Alright, next test. Next test, King JMK Loop. Any car, all cars did this, except the X80 Proto. That one failed this test. Let's see how this one does. Yeah, it did connect. Okay, as expected. I mean, this is a stunt that basically any car will do, so no problems there. It did connect to the wall. It kind of fanny flipped a bit there, but it's not really an issue. A lot of cars do that, so. But others don't fanny flip as hard. But I mean, that's a minor issue. It did connect to the wall, so this is a generic stunt, like I said, that any vehicle can do. The only vehicle that failed this was the X80 Proto, so no big surprise that it did make it past. Next up, we got container spirals. So let's see how it what traction it has, how especially how it performs on low speeds. Well, I gotta slow down here for this jump probably, because with the checkpoint you have to hit the checkpoints exactly now. If you go over them, they will not register. So let's see how it does here. Yeah, that rear wheel drive does not help on stuff like this. Other cars catch themselves, but and this is exactly what's important also, you know, that going in at low speeds, how does it perform there? Yeah, it definitely gets around it, but at low speeds, you really have a problem because of the rear wheel drive. Not only the rear wheel drive, this car is like similar to the Banshee, that it's incredibly fast, but it doesn't get moving in the first instance. You know, the back wheels just spin through, and basically before you start moving, some time really passes. Oops. Yeah, there we lost our view. Yeah, well, it went up the container there. It's also not a good thing. But yeah, definitely you can get around them. Like, also if you're a good racer or used to stunt races, yeah, you will do these spirals pretty easily. So you're definitely getting around it with this car. But if you're not used to these, I really wouldn't recommend this car, because then other cars like the Zentorno or the Osiris, they have a much better traction, and you can take it at lower speeds and you can correct much more harshly, and it will always get that grip and always just cling to the spiral, get that grip and get up there, which this one doesn't have with the rear wheel drive, and especially at low speeds. But yeah, I'd say it passed, so if you're used to stunt racing, you can definitely do this. You'll get through a spiral, no problem. And next up we got the crab slide. So this is like also an ultimate test, because if this is a stunt ready vehicle, then I expect it to make a crab slide and not go on its wheels. Like all the other DLC's vehicles we got, they went on their wheels, they didn't make the crab slide. So let's hope this one does it, because it is supposed to be a stunt ready vehicle. And I'm getting knocked around there. No, it goes on its wheels. It goes on its wheels. Okay, definitely not stunt ready, because a crab slide is just like it's become a generic stunt in stunt races. Like Osiris, T20, Zentorno, they will all do crab slides. Adder, Infernus. Oops. Yeah, I'm not used to wall riding this car yet, but as you saw there, it went away. This is definitely not stunt ready. No. Okay, yeah. No. Epic fail. It cannot crab slide. Failed. Okay, so last ultimate test, Freaky League's huge loop racing number 3. We went from the respawn like we did it with the other cars. I'm pretty confident that with the speed this car has, it's probably going to get through. I'm really interested to see how it gets lined up by the down-proof containers there. Oh, Stunt Camden. Okay, wait, I gotta do that myself now. Nope. Fail. Okay, yeah, so another thing they added that you have to cams yourself, which I think is a stupid idea, because nobody's looking in the top left corner of the screen to get prompted to register a stunt cam, you know? Like, I also don't like stunt cams a lot. On loops, for example, they're very helpful, and it should register here. If you play a race by somebody that just puts in too many stunt cams, you don't have to replay it, you know? Okay, yeah, no, it just loses. It's like on the ascending wall ride. I mean, this car demolishes other cars in the class just on a track, but not on stunts. Definitely not, because with that rear wheel drive, it doesn't have that raw power to keep the traction and get up there. I mean, this car is like a game changer for pure races and stuff. Like, it's unbeatable. Or the other supercars too. Physics of driving have completely changed, because you don't have to brake in corners anymore. These cars, they can't spin out, you know? You can just do anything you want with them, go over bumps, you know? They will not spin out. And I gotta say, that's also something that I'm a bit sad about, that they added that, you know? There's nothing about adding better cars, you know? That definitely, we were all waiting for that. But I mean, these cars just simply, there's no real skill required anymore, you know, and people were honing their skills and just getting better at this game for 3 years and have perfected their racing skills. And now with these 3 new supercars, you don't even have to control your car in the turns anymore. Like, you just accelerate and go through the turn. There's nothing you have to do anymore. And that's really a pity, you know, because obviously a skilled racer should have an advantage, you know, like just perfecting his skills. And with these, okay, man, this doesn't even get around. Doesn't even get around Freaky League's huge loop racing number 3. So yeah, definitely not a stunt-ready vehicle. Did some generic stuff like a horizontal wall ride, which any car will do. So that's no big achievement there. It will go through spirals. Although if you take them slow with the rear-wheel drive, you'll have issues definitely. So if you've got a fast if you got a straight line, you know your line, you'll do good on a spiral. Like on the barge spiral, for example, where we went into an upwards wall ride, we completely lost our view. Ascending wall rides, we completely lost our view. We lost the speed, the power. So this is definitely not stunt ready. Like, also what I said in the beginning, why I'm testing it on these, because the Rockstar stunt races that were released, this is all very generic stuff which any car can do. There's nothing I can really compare there, you know. If I go through these rocks, like any car would drive through a tube, I can't compare the vehicles because they can all do it, you know. It's very generic. But for the stunt racing community, what we have been building the last 3 years basically, This is definitely not a stunt-ready vehicle. It failed the test, sorry. And like I said, don't take it personal. I don't care what the outcome is. I'm just going to test it and compare it to the other cars that we know how they perform on these types of stunts. So yeah, that was my first test of the ANIS 7B something. I'll knock out the other tests pretty quick also, so definitely stay tuned for that. Let's hope that they do better on the stunts. I'm out. Peace.